I'm going to be showing y'all how to travel all the way to 25,000 meters as a free-to-play on a dusty trip. Let's get right into this. So I'm going to be showing y'all how to travel to 25,000 meters on the desert map, and we are going to be doing this absolutely free-to-play. So for this tutorial, we are going to be using the regular free-to-play van. But anyway, let's grab this engine right here, and we're going to be using this van in the back. So let's toss it in, and we're also going to go ahead and attach all the doors as well. So we want to make sure that we attach these doors because these will protect us from sandstorms. And now we also need the radiator. So right here, so we don't always need water in our radiator, but if you do have water in our radiator and have it in there, then it will stop our engine from overheating, which is very helpful. Now we're gonna grab this gas canister and we're just gonna fill up our car all the way, and then after this we're pretty much just gonna drive all the way to 5,000 meters, because at 5,000 meters there is a landmark that gives us a free 18 liters of gas, which is gonna help us a ton. We now fully filled up, so let's just toss the gas canister right there, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run back inside and we're gonna grab a wheel. So we're gonna grab like this wheel right here, and we're just gonna attach this to the top of our van, so this will help stop the van from flipping over, and we don't want it to be like that, so we want to attach it just like this. There we go. So just somewhere in the middle, make sure that's facing like this, and then basically if you flip over the van, we'll easily be able to push it by hand because this will put it at a little slant, which will help us a ton. So now that we have everything, what we want to do is we do want to grab some food. So what I recommend doing is going up top and just eating this onion right here. So let's just eat this, and now grab this burger, and we're just going to attach this to our car. There's also some more food right here, such as an apple and a banana. You can also go ahead and attach those to your car, but we're mainly just going to grab this cheeseburger. Now let's attach it to the top. There we go, and now we're good to drive all the way to 5,000 meters. So you shouldn't need to stop at all. So just turn your car on by putting this lever down and then clicking R to turn the engine on, and now we're just gonna drive all the way to 5,000 meters. Also, we will upgrade the engine once we reach 15,000 meters, and then we'll also switch out the gas as well. But for now, just keep driving on the road. Make sure that you do avoid the rocks. If a rock appears in front of you, just go along it like this, or you can just drive in the sand, such as this one up here. We can just drive on the right side, but if there's one like taking up the whole road, then you can just drive in the sand. Driving in the sand doesn't make any difference. It's just a little bit more bumpy, but other than that, there's no downside to it. We're now nearly at 5,000 meters, and there's currently a storm happening. So if a storm happens while you're driving, just don't hop out of the car, because there is a small chance that if you hop out, you could get struck by lightning, and lightning does insta-kill you, so you want to make sure that you don't do that. There's also a chance that your car could get struck by lightning. If your car gets struck by lightning, then many of the wheels will probably detach, and maybe your engine as well. So then you will have to hop out of your car eventually and reattach all those items. And also, once you ride to 5,000 meters, you will want to be driving on the road, and also you will want to slow down, because if you're going too fast, then you might accidentally fall into the void over there, which we definitely don't want to do. It's not a complete void. There is a little floor on the bottom, but there is no way to get your car back if you fall down there, so we want to make sure that we don't do that. But anyway, let's stop here. So there are two gas canisters. They both each have 9 liters, so we use these to fuel up our car. Let's actually check. So our car, it only used 1 liter gas. So the van is so good that we only used 1 liter, so we don't even need to fuel up, because we're actually going to be switching over to diesel once we reach the 15,000 meter checkpoint. So we'll probably only use like 2 more liters gas. But once you reach 5,000 meters, your hunger might be quite low, so now we're just going to grab the burger and eat it, and then we'll just stop at some buildings up here once we need more food. Anyway, let's turn our car back on, and now we're just going to slowly drive across this bridge. They did actually make it quite a bit easier, so we're just going to align ourselves right here. You could also do it right there, but just align yourself so you don't accidentally fall off, and also make sure that your wheel doesn't get stuck in one of the cracks. But yeah, it's much easier than it used to be. So once we do that, we can just drive over this little part as well, and now we just gotta align our wheels one more time, which is also pretty easy. So we'll just align our wheels right there. The bridge is super easy. Just make sure that you go slow, because if you're zooming while you approach it, then you will fall off. Anyway, let's stop here. So there is a mutant, so make sure you hold down shift to run away from the mutant. And basically what we're doing is we're just grabbing any food we see, such as this chocolate bar, and we're just attaching it for the roof for later. We can also grab this right here. So if you start getting too low on health, then just jump in your car and drive away. But for now, we're chilling. So let's also grab this cheeseburger right here, and let's also attach this to our car. And you can just keep doing that for every building we see. So all those other buildings, you can just do the same. Also, you probably don't need to stop for any water, oil, or gas on your way to 15,000 meters, because the van barely uses any. Let's actually check our water, and never mind, you might want to stop for water, but we definitely don't need any oil or gas. But anyway, let's hop in and let's start driving away again. Also, if you find your car going like super slow, it might just be because you're going up a hill. Like right now, my car is in perfect condition, but since we are going uphill, it is going quite slow. So once we start going downhill, it will start speeding up quite a bit. Also, while you're driving, if your car starts to go to a complete stop and your engine has smoke like this coming out of it, then that just means that your engine overheated and that you need to fill up your radiator with water. Your engine will eventually cool down, but it will just take like 30 seconds. Such as right here, my engine is overheating, so we'll just wait for it to cool down. You do gotta make sure that your engine is off, so let's just click R to make sure it's off. We now made it to 7.5 thousand meters, and there will be this little landmark right here where you have to go up a hill. It's pretty easy, just make sure you're going pretty fast, like at least like 65 kilometers per hour, and then you should be able to make it up the hill. hill, if you're going like 10 miles per hour, then you won't make it up the hill and it will be a little bit more difficult. So as long as you're going fast, then it's pretty easy. Also, once again, if you don't have water in your radiator, it's fine. It's just your engine will overheat every now and then you'll just have to wait like 30 seconds for it to cool down. But if you aren't able to find water, then it's just okay. Like I still have 0 water in my radiator and I'm probably just gonna keep driving all the way to 15,000 meters. We now made it to 10,000 meters, and for this you might want to slow down a little bit, but overall you wouldn't go pretty fast, just slow enough to make sure that you don't crash into anything, but fast enough that you are able to avoid these people with just gunshots. So if you get stuck somewhere, then you are most likely gonna die from their gunshots, but as long as you keep driving, you should be good. Also, make sure not to run any of them over, because if you try to run them over, then they'll just get like stuck at the front of the car and they'll just kill you. So as long as you don't do that, then you should be fine. And there we go, we just passed the 10,000 meter mark. Also, make sure you are still stopping at places and gathering food if you haven't already. So if you're starting to get pretty low on hunger, just stop somewhere, grab some food, and then just continue your journey. Also, once again, don't worry about stacking up on any oil, water, or gas, because at the 15,000 meter checkpoint, it's actually a little garage that supplies you with all the stuff you need, so you don't need to worry about any of that. But anyway, let's just drive all the way to 15,000 meters though. We now made it to 15,000 meters, so start to slow down, flip the lever right here so then you can go to a complete stop. There we go. But anyway, let's hop in here and let's click F to grab our engine. It's fine if we don't take it all the way out, just as long as it's detached. And now we're gonna run in here and we're gonna grab this V8 engine. So this is pretty much the fastest engine in the game. It's not as fast as the vampire engine, but the vampire engine drains your fuel. And now what we want to do is grab one of these diesel canisters. So the diesel canisters are orange and they say diesel just like that. And now we're gonna empty out all of our gas. So we're gonna take apart a wheel, and now we're gonna click E to open up our gas canister just like that. And as you can see, all the gas is draining. So we're just gonna drain all the gas and we're gonna replace it with diesel, because the V8 engine actually uses diesel instead of gas, and this engine will allow us to go much faster. And basically we use oil to fill up our engine. So right down there we can see that our engine does use oil. So whenever that gets too low, then we'll just fill it back up. We can also grab all these water canisters right here, which I recommend doing. I recommend taking every single one of these and attaching it to your car. So we'll grab this one right here and we'll just click Z to attach it to our car. There we go. And then for the gas canisters, I don't recommend taking any of these because we no longer use gas, so we can just leave all of those behind. But for this video, I'm only gonna take like a few water canisters. I'm not gonna take all of them. We're only gonna take a few. Anyway, we drained all of our gas, so let's go ahead and toss this wheel back on. There we go. And now we're just gonna fill it up with diesel. So make sure you attach all the water and oil canisters to your car. I'm not gonna do that for this video because we are only getting to 25,000 meters. But if you're trying to see how far you make it, like past 25,000 meters, then I do recommend attaching all of those. Anyway, make sure you do fill up your radiator as well, just so our engine doesn't overheat. And there we go. Now let's just attach the extra to our car. There we go. And now let's just start driving. So now that we have this engine in, we will go much faster. But as we can see, we are zooming now. So we're already going 120 and it's still increasing. And our speed is still increasing. We're already going like over 200. So once you upgrade your engine, the journey will become a lot faster because the other engine is super slow. Just make sure you don't go too fast or else you may flip over just like that. And there we go. We did flip over. So what we can do is we can just hop out. And now since it's flipped over, what we're just going to do is we're going to remove these wheels right here. And then we're going to go over here and we're just going to push it over. So click F on the side and there we go. So it's super easy to flip over just as long as you have something on the roof. Also at the 20,000 meter checkpoint, there's a radio tower. You can stop there and loot up if you want. But overall, there's not too much there. But anyway, just keep driving, making sure that you are stopping at buildings every now and then to get some food. And now we're just going to drive all the way to 25,000 meters. We now made it to 25,000 meters. And once you start arriving here, you will want to slow down. So let's go to a complete stop because once we get too close, all those mutants over there are going to start chasing us. I also forgot to mention that you should bring a gun with. So just look around in all the buildings back there until you find a gun and just bring it with. I would probably recommend multiple guns. And what you want to do is just get close enough that you can kill them with the gun, but far away enough that they don't start chasing you. Also, if you don't want to kill them with a gun, then what you can do is you can just use a free revive. So if you join the group that made Dusty Trip, you can claim 1 free revive every day. So what you can do is you can run up to them, die, and then use a revive and they'll all despawn. So let's just do it right here. So let's go ahead and die. And it turns out that we do have a free revive. So let's go ahead and click this. And let's drop all the way down. And they should despawn in a few seconds. So I think we fell down. Yep, we are on the invisible roof. So let's just run over here. But as we can see, they did all despawn. It does take them a few seconds, but they will eventually despawn. Also, once again, if you are trying to do this without dying, then just bring a gun with, and then just stay far enough back that you can shoot them and then kill them, but also close enough that the bullets do actually hit them. Also, once you defeat the ghost town, you can pull your car up here, and you can also loot up on all of this stuff. So there's tons more diesel that you can put in your car, a lot more water, and also a lot more oil that you can attach as well. But anyway, that's how you get to 25,000 meters as a free to play on a Dusty Trip though. So that is going to be all for this video. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you all in the next video.